Hello, hello. Okay, I can see that I am live. This is kind of interesting because I feel like my camera's up here, and then I need to see where I can find any of the comments. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. All right, for those of you that are tuning in, can you go ahead and type in some comments and see if I can see them? Excuse me. All right. Hold tight. Okay, I see Joe. I see Carlene. Yay. Okay, beautiful. I can see them. I can see you. Thank you for the bless you. Amy, hello. Okay, this is going to be kind of interesting because I don't think I'm on Facebook. We have, does it look like I'm looking down? Is my camera too high? Do I need to move this? Well, that's not a good angle. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. That's still, it makes it a little bit low, huh? Because the camera is here. I'm literally talking about like a 3-inch difference. It's good? It's good? You guys think it's great? Okay. So this is the first time I've used this camera, which is different than the iPad, because the iPad, it's like right there, right next to it, so I can still do that. Okay, it's good. You guys are great. Thanks for the support. Okay. So, well, let's go ahead. We've got 7 people here. Woo! All right. I'm pretty excited about this. Elizabeth, yay. I'm so excited to see your guys' names popping up, see some familiar friends and fam. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and just simply, I'd love to pull an angel card, which I think I have in this drawer. No. Over here. All right, these aren't the angel cards I was looking for, but let's go ahead and go with these anyway. Okay, so we're going to do a similar thing to how we do this on Facebook, and I know that most of you are and have been over there, so thank you for bearing with me on my first one here as I get used to some new technology. Yes, woo. Okay, so got these cards here with us using the Wisdom of the Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. Love these. I always joke that you can tell which decks are mine because Loki has done this to pretty much all of my boxes. So that's how you know. That's how you know it's good and it's been blessed by my little puppy magic. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the prayer. Let's start with these cards. Let's just see what our theme is. I don't know about you guys. I'm still kind of waking up. I went to hot pot Chinese last night. I've never done that before. It's where in the center of the table they have like a boiling pot of broth, and then they bring all the food to you there. Now I haven't been eating meat or gluten for that matter, or dairy. I go back and forth with, not so sensitive there, but haven't been eating meat for a while. And so I went, and it was like a when in Rome situation. I wanted to experience the whole thing. So the people that we were with, they were super wonderful. It was so much fun. But I definitely feel like I overate. And so I'm feeling today, which I actually really appreciate because, and especially being in this reading space, part of the reason that I stopped eating meat to begin with was because, well, I woke up and my heart was telling me that it was time. And so when I did that, it was the same sort of feeling I had like when I made the decision to move to LA. Same sort of feeling. Just kind of making some adjustments here. Same sort of feeling. So I wanted to honor that within myself. And so I decided, like I said, to stop eating meat. So last night was kind of a test. I want to see how my body feels, but also how it influences my abilities and my connection with source as I'm doing these readings and connecting with each and every one of your higher selves in that way. So beautiful. Erin, you've been feeling similar things about meat. Yes. See, I go back and forth, and I think this is a conversation worth having, is that I go back and forth with it, and partly because I don't like the idea of eating the energy of a dead animal, of having that vibration in my body. And at the same time, I'm blood type O, which is basically meat eaters. And so I have to pay attention to making sure that I'm supplementing and making sure that I'm getting enough of what my body needs. And I know I'm more dedicated this time than I have been in the past to make sure that that happens. But I'd love to hear from some of you if you have any sort of ideas on it. I know that the whole eating meat topic, there's some real passionate vegans out there. There's some real passionate hunters out there. It's kind of, you know, to each their own sort of experience. But my intuition lately has been sharing with me that just having the vibration of the dead animal in my body is something that is, it's just lowering my frequencies. Like I'm kind of hitting that upper limit, upper ceiling of what I can do to move through that. I agree. I feel really good when I eat fresh fruit or fruits and vegetables too. You guys, if I could honestly just eat fruit all day, I would just eat fruit all day. I don't know. Is that a problem? Is that something we're not supposed to do? I don't know. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive into the cards. Maybe that will come up again. Maybe it won't. I'll share with you if I'm experiencing or feeling anything. So my plan is to be here for an hour. So we'll end around 10. And when we end around 10, we'll go ahead and leave with a little bit of a meditation, dropping us all down and through. Remember that as you are here, you will, whether I call your name or not, I don't have time to read everybody, but remember that I choose to let my intuition guide me as to who it is that I am going to read just based on what name pops out at me, recognizing and knowing that that particular person and what it is that comes up into the field is meant for all of us. So when we go into that space of being able to just simply shed, release, recognize, and know that you will be receiving a beautiful healing just simply for being here and not doing anything else. And that's all you got to do. All you got to do. And some of you, you've been here with me before, so I'm so thankful to see you here. Thank you. Thanks for jumping platforms with me. It'll be exciting to see how this one grows too. Ooh. Okay, so this is our theme. We're getting used to a new setup. Okay, so all that glitters. I love gold glitter. Love, love, love gold glitter. So these masks here, all that glitters. Let's go ahead and look at that. I'm feeling like the theme here is going to be centered around hiding. For those of you that are hiding, whether it be that you're hiding from yourself, hiding from loved ones, hiding from something else. I just recently feel like I have come out of hiding. We also have the masks and then all that glitters. So we have the dichotomy of the things that are glittery and shiny and beautiful and wonderful and prosperous and abundant and yes. And then we also have, right, all that glitters. What's the common phrase with that? Is not gold. So we're going to be looking at just kind of the different back and forth of where is it that we're hiding. I want to make sure, does this sound better than when we're watching it on Facebook, by the way? I'd love to hear that feedback too, because I am using a different setup. So yes, all that glitters is not gold. Let's see, we also have we've got a guide here. There we go. We've got a guide here in the sky. So we'll definitely tune into that. We'll tune into where your guides are at. Maybe we'll just have an introduction. Usually when I set the container, especially when I'm doing these live readings, and I'll get better at it, obviously, because you gain strength and tools of doing practicing what you're good at. But with this, my intention is to create a container. And since we have 12 people here, and I think it'll probably stay around that, I don't think it'll blow up to the 60 that we've been seeing on Facebook. But with this nice small container that we have, I might bring in a nice invitation for our spirit guides. Usually when I create the container, I ask that all spirit guides, all deceased loved ones and relatives actually sit on the outside of our container. It's kind of like a double container. There's one for all of us to be, and then there's another one outside of that. The reason for this is that I sometimes, when I'm doing these live readings, especially if I open up to my mediumship stuff, all of a sudden my apartment is filled with dead relatives. And pardon me if you feel like that's a little bit crass for this particular topic, but It's true. Sometimes I just feel bombarded, not just with the people who are watching me, but also the energy of the spirits that come around wanting to share and send messages as well. So just to share a little bit about what that is like for me here on this end. I truly am. I feel like I'm going through my own revolution, my own revelations through doing these live readings and live sessions. I feel like it helps me to change and grow very, very quickly. And so I'm really thankful and happy to be here with each and every one of you. And my intention is to serve at the highest capacity and highest capabilities that I can so that you can all get the most out of it. I'm going to try to remember to look at the camera because I'm looking at the comments, but you're right there. All right, so let's go ahead and just simply start with the prayer. As we call in divine truth and love into the sacred space, we invoke the highest possible healing for each and every viewer, replayer, and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Amen. Go ahead and connect your root chakra down to the center of the planet. If you're able, keep your arms and legs uncrossed, your feet flat on the floor. This will give you the maximum position for healing, or the healing for the best position for maximum healing. There we go. All right. And so again, just simply settle into yourself, settle into your body. Go ahead again, internally or externally. Go ahead and set your intention. Set your intention for releasing, for loving, for healing, and for clarity. Whatever your intention is for you, you're welcome to put that into the chat, or you're welcome to write it in your journal. You're welcome to say it out loud so that you hear it from you. And you can even just say it simply in your head, to you, with you, for you, by you. All right, and let's just get in and on a roll. I'm going to sneeze again. Maybe not. All right. Miss Robin. Hi, darling. You have been here and like sitting next to me since you popped up. So let's go ahead and start with you. Oh, it's so sweet. The image that I'm seeing where you're learning to fly. I'm seeing that your wings are growing. Your connection with your wings is becoming more stable and more trustworthy to your conscious mind. I'm seeing that you are becoming aware of your capabilities. And I'm also seeing that there is a bit of fear associated with that. Totally normal. Yes, we can say hello to the fear. One thing that I would suggest is getting your notebook out and spending a day with your fears. Sometimes we are told and taught that, if we pay attention to our fears and it's feeding the fear, it's really not. It's really not. It's kind of like, let's say that you create something in your head that is like, oh my gosh, this person thinks I'm a da 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 da. And then like in your head, there's this major turmoil with this other human being that doesn't really exist. And then you get to a point where you have a come to Jesus meeting and you have a conversation with them. And all of a sudden it's like, it dissolves completely. That's what this is about. This is about connecting in and talking with your fears, getting to know your fears, having it sit down, write them in your journal, see them, say them out loud. And what you will do is you'll start to diffuse that energy. It's not about feeding them, and it's not about, giving them, letting them take the reins, but it really is about just simply getting to know what they are, so that when you are recognizing, are you acting out of fear or are you acting out of grace? You can recognize and notice how you are allowing your energy to be created and how you are allowing yourself to control your own energy when it comes to making choices in the role of service. Now, the other part of this vision that I'm seeing where you have these big wings behind you and you're like, it's like you're in your goddess and angelic form and you're ready to just take off. And at the same time, not really take off. I'm seeing that the wisdom that you hold, that you already know exists within you, that you are conscious to, is that you're like standing on a rock, you're standing on a pedestal, so to speak. And I'm seeing that you are in that peace and in that place of allowing energies to come to you. Now you are bending over, and it's like there's a part of you that is reaching up, and it's like you're like a light purple. It's like if you were like a light purple sort of ghost. That's the energy that I'm seeing and then you're reaching up. And so what I see is that you in this angelic goddess form is reaching down to say hello and nurturing that side of yourself that you are letting go. Let's bring some giggles into this. I'm seeing it's similar to the scene in Titanic with Rose and Jack, and she's on the plank and they're super cold, and it's like the end of the movie, and we all know it. It's a famous scene where it's, "I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never," and her voice cracks like that. But I'm seeing that part where you're holding on to your own hand and you're acknowledging that it is time for you to let that timid, that shy, that real, just kind of fearful and scared aspect of yourself go. And I'm not even seeing this. This is like your inner little girl. This is the adult that has committed to hiding that little girl. It's the adult that has committed to nurturing and taking care of that little girl. But it's like letting that piece go. Like it's almost like 18 to 26-year-old Robin. It's allowing her to take a step aside, offering thanks and gratitude and praise to her for being in the role that she has been, and that she has been taking and nurturing that piece of yourself. And so when you see that, and when you nurture that, and when you see her, or when you release her, that little girl is going to come up, and that little girl is going to come up to just sit in your lap, to be held, to be nurtured, to be loved, to be appreciated. And that piece right there is the integration that is allowing the piece of you or the part of you to pass or to die, while the other piece and the other part of you moves forward into the grace of what it is that you are becoming. And so that really and truly is a beautiful thing. There's a beautiful transition happening here, and you already know exactly how to handle it. You are like, trust yourself completely. You already know exactly how to handle the circumstances that you're stepping into through the process of healing. And when you are there and when you have done that, you will allow yourself to basically move forward into stepping into your power, stepping into the next step of your own divinity. And I see that happening very seamlessly and very easily for you, that it's not a struggle, that the work that you've been doing, you're like, okay, this is safe. It's safe. It's safe. It's safe. And you are so protected. So protected. Beautiful. All right. So Robin, thank you so much for showing up. And again, if this is resonating with any of you, feel free to, send some hearts or say yes, whatever it is. I love for this to be an exchange of energy. If the comments are distracting me, I'll just close my eyes. So no harm, no foul there. And yay, Robin, yay. Thank you for being here so much. Okay, so Taylor, we don't ask questions here. Basically, how this works is that I just simply see your energy. I see your name, and then intuitively, I feel who is up next. And Taylor, I would love to read your energy next if you are okay with that. So what I do ask is that when I say your name, you do exactly what you did. Okay, cool, and a bunch of emojis. Beautiful. So I'm just going to start. And then if you guys see in the comments that somebody's asking something that you already know that I've already answered, whatever that be, please do feel free to respond to them and let them know. Show them the ropes. Show them the ropes. Okay, so beautiful. Taylor B. Let me go ahead and say hello to you. Okay, so Taylor, what I am seeing... Okay, what I'm seeing is you have a lot of light energy. You have a lot of really vibrant golds and rose golds, and they're like bubbling outside of you. It's coming from inside out. The thing that I'm seeing here is that it's there's a force that's happening. It's like it's kind of forceful, and so in that force, it's creating quite a bit of pain as you evolve and as you grow into the light being that you are, and as you really commit to understanding what your role is. I see that you are already very aware of your purpose. Yes, you know you're in purpose clearly. Your higher self gave me a nod, and then your consciousness was like, but what is it? So, haha. So with that, what I'm seeing also, I'll keep describing this image, and as I'm communicating, hopefully that will drop in and come through. But I know that you already know more so than I do what it is that feels right. It's that thing that you've kind of been dancing around that you're like, I don't know if I could make money doing this. I don't know if this would be supportive. So maybe you just touch on it as a side hobby, and maybe you just touch on it as something like else. But ultimately what I'm seeing is like you are squishing yourself up against a boulder. There's like a big giant boulder here in front of me, and then you're leaning up against it. You've got this light energy that's coming out, and it's kind of coming out in a forced way. Like it's coming out in like thick bubbles, almost like yeah, like thick bubbles. And so I'm seeing people that are around you, they don't let you shine at your brightest. And so I'm seeing that's where like the willingness to shine is innate. The shine that you have, the brilliancy, the brightness, the intelligence, the beauty that you have that is just like percolating out from the inside out is like, oh my gosh, it is so tangible. It is so beautiful. It is so radiant. And I'm seeing that you've never really been in a position where you've been able to shine in that way. And specifically the people that are around you, you're going to be sloughing friends. And I know that sounds kind of sad and mean to say, but I'm just going to say it. That the people who are in your inner circle now aren't going to stay with you for very much longer, meaning they're not going to be your friends for very much longer. You're going to have a shift. Specifically, there's like 3 or 4 that I see you hanging out with, and that they're like your go-to people, but your go-to people know way less about what's best for you than you do. And so as you've been believing them, or as you've been hanging out with them, and as you've been seeing them, the thing that's happening, that's where this force is coming from. It's like why can't you see me? Why can't you see how great I am? Why can't you see the beauty that's here? And so I'm seeing where like you're getting frustrated because you want more for life. Your friends are fine being stuck where they are, and you're just simply outgrowing the frequency that you all matched at one time. So it's not to say that you're better and they're worse or whatever it is. It's just that people grow at different rates. And so as people grow at different rates, you're just stepping into something new. You're just totally stepping into something new for you. And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So what I would suggest, oh my goodness, this has been frustrating me so much lately. So I'm just going to kind of soapbox on this for a second. Can we stop cutting people out of our lives? Please? Can we stop being like, they're toxic, get rid of them. They're toxic. Like this shit that you see on Facebook and like all over social media, like, can we please stop cutting people out of our lives, trying to say that they're toxic and bad people? Please. For somebody who has been cut out of another person's life, which has been me, right? It's not fun to be on the receiving end of that. And I'm sure like we all have somebody in our lives where it's like, we see that we are being cut out of somebody's life and it hurts and it sucks, with no explanation, with no willingness to like, hello, have a conversation about it, and to just like cut someone. That to me is an act of toxicity. That to me is like, that doesn't work. So it's a different thing to have conversations and set boundaries. So I do want to say, Taylor, what I'm saying about these friends is not to be like, get rid of them, like you're moving on. No, let yourself be the light. Simply spend more time in environments that support your highest calling and support your true growth. And as you are in those environments, simply by default, one, those people will either learn and choose to grow with you by the ripple effect. And so when those people learn to grow with you by the ripple effect, meaning your vibrational frequency, as your vibrational frequency increases, they will either choose to match you or they will choose to simply stop spending as much time around you. And they might sit there and judge you and point the finger and be like, you've changed. Let them. People talk. Doesn't matter. It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection where they are not giving themselves permission to step into their own greatness. You are vibrating at this like beautiful gold, rose gold, like, oh my gosh, so radiant on the inside. And what I'm seeing is like they're vibrating at this like really sticky tar, like gray, like sticky gray, which is why it's like also the force and like the needing to come out and these like kind of forceful bubbles that aren't popping. It isn't like a light radiance that's coming up and out of you. It's like oh my gosh, you're cracking out of an egg. And so that's why it feels a little bit painful at times. And that's why you feel a little bit misunderstood. But it's not that you are, that you're being misunderstood. It's that you're just simply growing into who it is that you are becoming and who it is that you're meant to be. But yes, you know your soul's true calling. Is that the life that and the path that you've been on up until recently? Not so much, but you've gotten the hints. You've gotten the like tidbits. And so, like I said, there will be friends that will come with you and there will be friends that don't. And either way, just simply honor them. It's okay. There doesn't need to be bad blood. There doesn't need to be these like, let's cut somebody out at the axe and like move on, because that creates, does that not create dissonance for you too? It just doesn't feel good. So acknowledging the growth in somebody else, acknowledging that freedom and acknowledging that passion is something that will, oh my gosh, it will just help. It's healing by self-healing. It's healing by default. It's a beautiful thing. Call it the ripple effect. Oh my gosh, that's the best chai in the world. Seriously, it's the best chai. Okay. You are so very welcome, Taylor. Thank you for coming. Thank you for showing up. All right, Carlene, that's resonating. Joe, hello, beautiful. Let's go ahead and do just simply a quick release and meditation, because I'm seeing that there's a lot of resonance with that one. Hello. It's actually really, really normal for this to happen as people wake up. Meaning when I say when they wake up, in the psychic world, what it means is that you are all of a sudden very connected with the fact that you are in fact a spirit in a human body. And when you start realizing that, your old life doesn't fit anymore. And so trying to fit in your old life starts to create dissonance, meaning you don't feel comfortable around your friends anymore. You don't like what they're doing. Your definition of fun has changed. And so when that happens, things like people just simply fall away, and they kind of have to make room for what is new and what is coming through. And so that's where I'm seeing, like, as I look at our container, the collective container that we have here, there's like a lot of stuff that's coming up, and there's a lot of stuff that's moving with our collective energy. So this is what we're going to do. You ready to do some healing? All right. So go ahead and create that rose of transmutation. And when I say that, don't get, I just jumped ahead like 10 spaces. Go ahead. I'm going to create this rose inside of our container. This rose is going to vibrate at a neutral gold energy. This vibration of this neutral gold rose basically is going to be a magnet to collect any and all frequencies of distaste, fear of judgment, lack of connection, any sort of sadness or grief that you have had as you've been on your healing journey. And as we heal ourselves individually, we also give every single person that is here connecting into this live and here as they are connecting into the replay as well, even more permission to release more energy to continue to heal yourself. So as you are doing that and as you are healing yourself, go ahead and allow that rose of transmutation to work as a magnet to pull that energy out of your space. And all you need to do is simply agree and nod that you're ready to let these things go internally, verbally. You can write it in your journal, whatever works for you. And just simply let it release and breathe and breathe and breathe. The more you can relax each and every muscle from your toes to your feet to your ankles to your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips, throughout your torso, up through your neck, your shoulders, your biceps, your forearms, your wrists, your palms, up through your head, relaxing your face muscles, relaxing the crown of your head, and continuing to just simply let your body release that which no longer is serving you, those connections, attachments, maybe even energetic cords or karmic agreements. Let yourself love yourself freely. Let yourself be at peace with you. Let yourself feel proud and happy that you can release any upper limits associated with anybody else, meaning that as you grow to a certain capacity, there may be a limit at which you can't grow beyond that. Recognize and identify that limit. Find peace and connection. Allow yourself to work through and work out the karma of that agreement. All right, beautiful. And just simply keep breathing, allowing yourself to continue to release. If you are seeing colors, that's a beautiful thing. Let that rose of transmutation continue to work, releasing any and all colors. If you're seeing chords, if you're seeing energy textures, if you're feeling things, if you're hearing messages, and even if you're not experiencing any of that, please know that the work is working, that the energy around you is working, that just by being here to hear this message, to share in this space today, you are releasing so much for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, that you are able to create that movement, to create that shift for and with you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Laura Klinger. Let's go ahead and touch in. Say hello. Feeling a lot of energy moving from my space. So thank you all for sharing and also holding space for me to have this opportunity to heal with you. Appreciate that very much. So I am feeling a little bit, I'm in a very light and gentle tornado. And that does not mean anyone needs to assist or heal me. Focus on you. Thank you, though. I felt that. Hello, Miss Robin. All right, go ahead and just bring your energy, your awareness back to you. You're doing a great job. Once again, let's all simply thank each other for the gratitude and sharing the space this morning with each other. Beautiful. All right. And so, Miss Laura, yes, hello. Oh, Missy, hi. So glad you're here. Laura, the first thing that I saw immediately was I saw an image of you standing in front of me and an axe like that went straight, excuse me, straight through the center of your body. So as that axe went straight through the center of your body, I noticed that that side of you that was moving forward, and that there was still like an attachment to what was going on in the past. Like what I'm seeing is that you want to move on. You're ready to transition. You're ready to shift things in a new direction. And as you're shifting things in a new direction and as you're moving on, I'm seeing like trying to bring those parts of yourself from the past back into what it is that you're creating. And I'm seeing that that's okay. That's not a bad thing, because the things that you are bringing with you, the things that you are like, no, I want to hold on to that. I want to hold on to that. These are parts of your character that have actually helped you get to where you're going, have helped you to make that split, has helped you to make that separation. And so as you've made that separation, I'm seeing that those pieces of you that you're trying to bring with you are parts and pieces of your strength. So it's not to let them go. So when you get to that point and you see them and you're not letting them go, when you're not letting them go, don't be hard on yourself and don't shame yourself, because it's like the pieces that are meant to come with you are trying to come with you. And they see you're like trying to slam that door so tight that it's like, no, 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 no. That was the old me. 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 But the truth is that it's all part of your integration. It's about strength, and it's about honesty, and it's about integrity. So what I'm seeing is like, the pieces that you're trying to shove away are also some of your best qualities. But I'm seeing, let's see what the information is on that. There's a belief around honesty being something that hurts you, and a belief around honesty, like that honesty is not the best policy, that honesty is something that has hurt you or harmed you in the past. And so there's a need, or so it's the honesty, it's a shifting in integrity. It's a shifting in integrity that needs to happen. Because it's more like, I see where you were choosing to do things outside of your own integrity, and then you were honest about them, and then it like bit you in the ass for being honest. So it's not about like shedding the honesty. It's not about leaving that behind. It's not about putting that away. So it is really about like continuing to be honest with yourself. So yeah, Lauren, I see that you have been hurt deeply in your past, and yes, that's part of the human condition. We experience pain and we experience that deep hurt. And I think what the other piece of this honesty is about, because it's really just the theme here, is being really, truly honest with yourself about where and how and why the hurt happened. So it's like where and why and how the hurt happened, meaning, did you abandon yourself? Did you let your boundaries fall to the wayside so that you could receive the love of somebody who didn't acknowledge and didn't care for you as much as you know that you deserved, but that person was there in front of you, so you chose to just simply acknowledge it and say, yes, I'm going to be there. Yes, I'm going to do this. When the red flags were there, the intuitive gut feelings were there, the things that you were experiencing were there, and you knew it maybe wasn't the right thing. So instead you abandoned yourself. You didn't step forward in the path of your highest good. You didn't step forward in the path of what it is that you wanted to do for you and by you and with you. So instead, you chose to not be honest with yourself about what you were feeling. And so as you were not being honest with yourself about what you were feeling, it got you into trouble. So that right there being the key piece and the key component as to why it's going to be really important for you to move forward and through easily so that you can see yourself. And I am getting like full body tingles right now. Anyone else here abandoned themselves before? I have. It sucks. It's not fun, right? For me, I have found that the choice to drink is an abandonment of self. That for me, that piece, oh God. I know that drinking isn't good for me. I know that it isn't. Oh, look at you, everybody. Woo, nicely done. But for me, this is my story. This is my, the theme that I'm breaking in my life is that I've been hurt deeply in the past. My root core is with childhood abuse. And so those root core is about finding the acceptance, because not only was I abused in that way, that I then continued to move forward and tried to get that person's acceptance and tried to get that person's approval in a way that allowed me to completely abandon myself. And at the same time, I was single digits, right? I was single digits, so I didn't really know what was happening. However, that piece, yeah, yellow guy, I'm talking about narcissistic abuse right now. So that piece of being able to get through and see when you can stop breaking that pattern. Because what's going to happen is the universe is going to continue to put people in your path that are going to betray you, that are going to be dishonest, that are going to hold and dangle a carrot in front of you, that are going to be super charming, that are going to be wonderful, and against your better judgment, against your intuitive knowing, against your best feeling, you're going to wave by those red flags. You're going to acknowledge those red flags, and you're going to be like, yeah, I think, yep, see that? Yep, let's keep going. And then you're going to be like, what the fuck happened? Why am I still here? Why is this still happening? And then you're going to beat yourself up for it. Sound familiar? So let's say hello to that now, and let's break it down. Let's break it down. Boom, shakalaka, right? So the abandonment of self really comes from the unwillingness to be honest with you for the desire of approval from somebody else. Now, if you're really being honest with yourself, you may still choose to betray you, which in case, that's on you, honey boo boo. And when you get to that, where you're like, ugh, this is me, this is on me, I've got to figure this out, you have to face yourself and be honest with yourself about why that's coming up. Because oftentimes it's a hanging on, it's a clinging on to a core root or trigger that puts you in victim mode and victim mentality. Victim mode, especially from being abused as a child, narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, mental, physical, all of the above, any state of abuse by somebody who you love and adore and admire and whose life you want to be a part of, also creates an abusive pattern with you internally. So when you see that you are abusing yourself internally because you have created this pattern of this is what love looks like, this is what this means. So you embark on the spiritual journey where you're like, I love love, I love me, I want more love in my life. But for you, that trigger around love also says abuse, patterns of pain, patterns of trauma, patterns of betrayal, all of those things. So it has to come out, right? We have to be able to witness. Now, this is so much easier said than done. It really is. This is the layers of the core reason why people choose to continue to heal themselves through the pain. Yes. So let's take a deep breath and let's go ahead and do a little bit of healing on this too. Connecting your root chakra down to the center of the planet, saying hello to your energy body, your physical body. For those of you that are waiting and willing and desiring to be read, give yourself a moment to just simply settle and let yourself receive. This is for you. Let yourself settle, let yourself release, let yourself connect in with your root, again, to the center of the planet, and just simply focus on letting yourself purge down through your root chakra. This is like taking, and this is going to be a little bit graphic and crass, but I don't care because it helps. You have to sometimes visualize yourself just taking a big, fat, giant energetic dump, that you are purging the toxic energy from your body. You're purging the energetic waste from your energy body, and you're letting it go all the way down through your grounding cord. This is why it's also really important to connect your grounding cord all the way to the center of the planet. So the way that you do this is you create that line of energy, Feel it connect into the center of the planet and give it like a tug to make sure it's connected. If you're feeling like your grounding cord is not connected or this is new to you, it does take a little bit of practice. Part of the reason it takes practice is because you're not used to grounding on your own. You're either plugging into somebody else's grounding cord or you're just completely ungrounded. So when you root into the earth and you pay attention to the frequencies that are there for you to connect with, you can allow yourself to radiate at that frequency of healing. Now, what you can also do is ask Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, for some help with that healing. Meaning you can ask her to bring her energy up from the core of the earth up to meet your grounding cord and help you release that energy. She's always here with you. She's always here for you. Beautiful. Beautiful. And continue to just let that release take place. Let that release happen. Wonderful. Yes, Laura, I'm seeing here that you're scared to love again, to get close to a person. That is a reasonable fear. These fears are created, obviously, right, from extreme pain. And it's okay because right now your mission is to love yourself so much that nobody else has the power in the world to hurt or harm you in any way. So that is your experience right now in this world, is that you are going to be faced with the challenges of loving you, of learning to not abandon yourself, of learning to acknowledge your greatest abilities and intuitive understanding and knowing. And all of that is going to let you open up freely. Now, yes, the fear of learning to love again is that love is love. The vibration of love is love. So allow love to come through you. That the dynamics of bringing someone else into your world and into your life is a completely different experience. It's not always just love. There's a lot of other things that get mixed in with that. But your relationship with you can be pure, unadulterated, unconditional, boundaryless, infinite love. Absolutely. So I encourage you to start on your path, maybe read a couple books that will help you to find and discover that. One of my favorites is by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. I want to say it's A Mastery of Love. I think that's what it is. All right, beautiful. I'm feeling quite lovely right now. All right, so yellow guy. I see this. Chris, I want to read your comment too. For me, it was a way to look away from yourself and create that numbness. Yes, I agree. I hear you. I understand that path. Yellow guy, I think the world lies to us about fighting fire with fire because with a narcissist, when you drop your sword, you learn that it's easier that way because it seems like that. Yes, I think I do understand what you're saying there, in the sense that you just simply have to let yourself be in peace. When you give somebody what they want, especially if they are abusing you in any way, energetically, emotionally, mentally, sometimes physically, but if you give them what they want and you fight back and they get a reaction, whether it be sadness, anger, grief, begging, whatever it is that they want from you, and you give that to them, that feeds their behavior. When you are able to find that neutrality, and this is the key, is that you are only able to find that neutrality when you disengage, when you pull yourself out of it. So that disengagement of releasing it is what is going to It's what is basically going to get them off your back. So when you do that and you get them off your back and you just simply let yourself be free in it, you can choose to step away. And that's when you have the time and energy to be able to heal yourself. But you're not really able to heal yourself and find those triggers and why that person is getting under your skin and why that is there, because it all has to do with triggers. Triggers are, for those of you that aren't so familiar with that word, is that the triggers are a result. They're like the buttons, right? We talk about people pushing our buttons. They're the buttons that get pushed as a result from internal and previous trauma. So those buttons that are then created from the trauma that we hold and that we house is that those defense mechanisms are to protect that piece of trauma from getting hurt. And so that we have those triggers. So those triggers say, don't go any deeper, don't go any deeper. I'm going to get angry, or I'm going to be sad, or I'm going to do this. And that's the trigger. But when we learn to acknowledge and see and recognize the triggers are actually the access point that's going to lead you to the core wound. And when you get into that core wound with the consciousness and the intention to heal, you then can actually feel it one last time. That's the key to internal and core healing, is that you must feel the pain that you are trying to protect. And when you feel that pain that you're trying to protect and you let yourself feel to the depths of it. Now, this is why we carry pain around with us, is that when we are a child, and especially when we are younger, in our younger years, or even in our first relationships or whatever it is that when we experience that sort of pain at a young age or that sort of trauma, we don't have the emotional capacity or usually even the ability to decide to get out of it, right? We're stuck there. So what happens is we go into survival mode, meaning we tuck that trauma into a box and we basically catalog it and we stuff it away. And when we stuff it away, we then put a little trigger on the outside of it. And that little trigger is what gets hit when we then meet or fall in love for the first time or meet a group of friends or this, that, or the other. And so those boxes are there until we have the actual emotional capacity to be able to understand how to release that through actually going to the core experience of feeling. If you do not feel it, you're not able to heal it. So we must feel it first. And as we feel it, we release it and we bless it with something so rich and so vibrant and so beautiful that it then will release. And you can then fill that box up with light. You can then fill that box up with eternal love. You then create a space inside of your body that makes more room for the energy of universal love, the oneness, the creator, the divine energy, all that is, source, whatever vernacular, whatever vocabulary you want to use, doesn't matter. It's about bringing that energy of love into your space. It's going to give you the freedom to be able to fully express at your highest vibrational capacity. Go ahead and read some of these comments here. Beautiful. Erin, I see this is totally for everyone here. It feels like it's definitely resonating for you. I'm feeling a lot of it, that's for sure. Yellow guy, you're saying that you were anointed by source. I don't know that I'm completely knowledgeable of that vocabulary or what you mean there, but I'm feeling like what it is important for me to say here. The insight that I'm getting is that it's important for you to check into your life path number, see what your life path number is, and as you see your life path number, explore numerology, because you have a particular life path that I'm seeing is a little bit confusing to you right now, that you're not quite clear on what that means and how to embark on that path and how to embark on that journey. So when you're there and you're seeing yourself and you're learning more about your path, I'd even say, get an astrology reading, get your numerology report. So these things, they're like roadmaps. This is my belief, right? Take it with a grain of salt. This is what I've seen through doing these sorts of readings too, especially with baby beings, is that we choose the time and space that we come into the world. We choose the moment, we choose the name, we choose the vibrational frequency of our genetics. We choose so much that when you're able to see yourself and get that map of your numerology and astrology report, it's not going to say choose this at this hour and this, that, and the other, but it's going to give you an idea of your energetic makeup that's going to help you discover and commit to your soul's purpose with the greatest of resources. So it's not to say numerology is all there is. There's not to say that psychic awareness is all there is. It's not to say that astrology is all there is. It's that all of these things kind of create and compose a balance of self and a balance of understanding of a map that we have to be able to use to help us get through the amnesia. Because the funny thing is that we come into this world not remembering where we came from. When I was little, I was raised Presbyterian. We go to church camps and that sort of thing. There was so much focus on death, right? We're living to die, basically. And so I was like, why are we focusing on so much on death when we don't even know where we came from? So let's focus on where we came from. Let's access those memories. Let's access that information so that we can then figure out why the heck we're here. So with that beautiful hello, let's see why it is that we are here and start being able to acknowledge and putting the pieces together so that you can start remembering. It's coming out of the amnesia, and that's what I mean by waking up. Beautiful. All right, so you think with many people, male and female alike, we want or desire love so much that when the trigger gets tripped or doubles per se, or we add another trigger. Yes, it can, and that's when we find that we are abandoning ourselves, right? It's a trigger that's like, let's just put a Band-Aid over that and pretend that trigger doesn't exist. No, we're good. No. It's time for healing. That's a beautiful thing. Thank the triggers. Thank the people who trigger you. These people are here to help support you into the next step of your journey and next step of your evolution. And you won't ever know that until you actually let yourself get triggered so much that it's like, hello, it's in your face. All right. So we're coming up on time here. So let's go ahead and do a quick little 5-minute meditation. We'll close out our space and carry on with our day. All right. So take a couple nice big deep breaths. For those of you that have a journal or have a note and paper handy with you, go ahead and take some notes. I'm seeing that some of you specifically have had some insights that need to be written down so that you can refer back to them and that you can really dig a little bit deeper into some of these things that are coming up and out. Beautiful. Keep releasing. Keep releasing, keep releasing. Seeing energy of like a toothpaste tube that's just being squirted out. There you go. And let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. This time, let's go ahead and look at what the energy is that we are filling ourselves up with. So go ahead, I encourage you to connect your crown chakra all the way out to the center of the planet. And as you connect your crown chakra all the way out to the center, the center of the sun, not center of the planet, but yes, center of the sun. Allow your crown to open, allowing that solar energy from our cosmic Father Sky, Father Sun, allowing that to come through. Allow yourself to recognize and understand that we, as humans, inside of our own genetic encoding, is to make up a story. Make a story to rationalize, to understand, to piece together. And so as you are recognizing that you have stories associated with events, associated to triggers, all those fun things, allowing yourself to connect root chakra to the center of the planet, just simply release those stories that have been acknowledged today. Release any energy you have around your own identity, how you see yourself, what you see yourself being, any and all of the above. Let yourself release completely into the center of your own being. And again, just simply take a couple of nice big deep breaths. Go ahead and rub your hands together. Clearing out your hand chakras. For those of you who are females, ladies, just go ahead and put your hands over your ovaries, just over your lady part, and go ahead and release whatever it is that is in that space that is time to be released. And connect your ovaries, fallopian, uterus, all those pieces. Allow that to connect into your grounding cord. For men that are sitting and watching this, go ahead and just simply do the same for your own reproductive organs. And just simply ground, re-owning your female space, re-owning your female creative energy. You as a female have the ability to create life inside of your human form. That energy is meant for you to use with you and for you to be able to heal. So allow that creation energy to just permeate your entire being, your entire body. Beautiful. And let yourself just simply be with you for a moment, acknowledging the healing that you have done, acknowledging your willingness to release, acknowledging your willingness to show up. That even if you did not personally get a reading to your name, recognize the matching pictures that we have as human beings, that we have a lot of very similar life experiences. And with that, as we connect with each other and learn from each other, we learn how to heal ourselves through human connection. So go ahead, I invite you to take a moment to think about who it is that you are going to call today and spend some time with a human that you love, or spend some time with a human that makes you feel really good about who you be and who you are and really fills you up just as you filled them up, that it is a mutually beneficial relationship that helps each other and helps each person shine at their greatest capability and shine at their greatest illumination, and celebrate the people in your world and in your life who have helped you to move through the densities, as well as the people who have created some of those densities with you. Celebrate each and every human interaction as an opportunity to grow and support and love even more deeply than you have before. Take a moment to place both your hands on your heart if that feels right to you. Just simply say thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm with you. I'm committed to you. I have your back. I have your front. I have your heart. And I'm here to make the best of choices that I can to make sure that you experience a life of fulfillment, of joy, of passion, and of peace. Beautiful. Just simply breathe. And just simply breathe. Allowing yourself to come back to your center of alignment. Being in full peace and passion with yourself. May you honor yourself with the greatest of integrity. May you honor yourself with the deepest of honesty. May you honor yourself with the most unconditional of love. Releasing self-judgment, shame, depression. Recognizing that you are a creation of your very own creator, that you are flawless in every expression of your own divinity. That you are here to play, to bring joy, and have as much fun as you possibly can while you are incarnate in this human form. Give the energy back to anyone who you are holding on to that is taking your joy. Simply give it back. And make more room for your own excitement, your own play, your own enjoyment. But nobody here is going to save you but yourself. I love you. I acknowledge you. I see you. Now, as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received with courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here is complete. So thank you for being here, for spending this moment with me. I love that we get to share this time together. And yes, like I said, I'm going to continue doing more of these live readings on Facebook. You can find me at Samantha Faye. You can also find me at Psychic Medium Samantha Faye. That is my business page. You can find us in Happy Empowered Empaths. If you guys could write these in the comments, whoever knows, I know that some of you know and you have found me on those other platforms, but just so that other people can know and find me. I also am on Instagram at Psychic Medium Samantha Faye, and we'll be practicing doing some live readings there and seeing how these live readings work in the different platforms. So with that, I love. Thank you for being here with and for me. I hope you get the most out of this every time. Please do feel free to share this with your friends, families, people who are maybe into this stuff or maybe just need a big healthy dose of self-love. But spread the word, my friends. I would very much appreciate it. And as we know, the more the merrier, and the more we all get to heal together. So love you. I hope you have an absolutely blessed day. And I will be letting you know when I'm going to go live again soon. All right. Ciao, ciao.